Nobody can leave his party after election. Exactly. If you want to change party, do it during election. After election, you must stay there. If you forget, they replace the person. Wow.
Very correct.
So, which party am I going to contest him? As you know, because of the problem they have, some of us who are leaders in the opposition have a president adopted ADC. But I can tell you, before the election, more will join. Yes. More people will come together. Because the opposition needs to come together. Yeah. We are not coming together to wrestle power. If it is wrestle power, can't people be out of it? If we are not going to use that power to change the fortune of this country, please count me out of it. I'm not looking for political position. I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I am desperate to see Nigeria change. I live in a changed place. And I tell people that. I live in a place that work. I've been to schools. People have asked me questions. Peter, why did you go to all these schools? I went to them because I wanted to know where those people who went there have different brains. So as we advance down, we have adopted ADC for 2027 election. Okay. We are still battling to take over Labour because that's the right thing. There was nothing wrong. What was wrong in Labour is that we found out that people abandoned what we were trying to build into transaction. Yeah. It became a mess. So that was it. There's nothing wrong. That's the only thing that is wrong. We don't want to do transactional politics. I was offered a lot by this government. That could have been anything. But that's not what it is. So that's it. Somebody asked about being fair. My sister, I live in this country. This country must change.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
Yes. Amen.
Bad behavior, uncontrolled behavior, rascality.
Hello there, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Political Lens. I am Chukwuma Okoro, and on the show today, we are joined by Barrister Asim Adams. Barrister Asim Adams is a lawyer, legal practitioner. He was the spokesperson for the Beatrice Itubo/Peter Obi presidential campaign in Rivers State in 2023. Good to have you on the show, Barrister Adams.
Yeah, good to have you.
It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, on the show today, Peter Obi declares for ADC. Now, there's a question mark because according to the footage that we watched, Peter Obi said, look, those of us in the coalition have come together and we have chosen the ADC as the party we will use for the 2027 election. And again, coalition, that's the ADC itself, has cried out against intimidation, alleges that APC is using Efcc to harass members. Recall that former governor of Sokoto State, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, was arrested by the Efcc the other day. He's been released on bail. Away from that, we also understand that former Senate President David Mark, as well as Emeka Ihedioha, all members of the ADC, are undergoing one form of investigation recently by the EFCC. Anyway, let's get into it. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has revealed that leaders of Nigeria's opposition parties have adopted the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as a platform for political collaboration ahead of future elections. Speaking at a public forum, Obi said the decision aims to strengthen unity among those seeking a better Nigeria. He explained that the coalition is not about acquiring political power for its own sake, but about using it to create meaningful change. According to him, we are not coming together to wrestle power. If it is to wrestle power, can't Peter be out of it? The former Anambra governor also noted that more political figures are expected to join the coalition before the next election, stressing that such decisions should be made early. If you want to change party, do that before election. After election, if you vacate, they'll replace your position. Will be cautioned. And in another development, the coalition ADC has cried out against what it calls the harassment and intimidation of its members who are working to unseat President Bola Tinubu at the 2027 election by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Efcc. In an interview with journalists, ADC interim spokesperson Bolaji Abdullahi stated that Efcc has summoned ADC members, and the names are former governor of Sokoto State Aminu Tambawa, former governor of Imo State Emeki Hedioha, and former Senate President David Mark. Some are already members of the National Assembly, while others are not. Well, some left office in 2023 and others even earlier than that. This is an attempt to force them to leave the coalition or to intimidate them into not taking an active part in it. But we are determined to rescue Nigeria. Well, Barrister Asem Adams, you have heard it all. Yeah. This is coming from, let's start with the Peter Obi issue. You saw him, that footage that we played at the beginning of this show, we saw him say, clearly, we have chosen, those of us in the opposition have chosen the ADC as the coalition party to contest the 2027 general election. Does this amount to a declaration by Peter Obi that he's not a member of the ADC?
No.
You are an obedient. You are an obedient. So you should know, what more should we know about that statement coming from a Peter Obi?
He has not said he has joined ADC. He said, I am still a member of the Labour Party. And when he went to Anambra State to endorse George Moghalu and his deputy, he made it clear once again when the question was asked. He said he's still a member of the Labour Party, but he wants to work with the coalition for the 2027 general election. Now, as it is, periscoping the question is this: how do you now become a member of a political party? Is it by a social media declaration? Is it by declaration on national television? Is it by declaration when you go for seminars and you talk about a political party? Before now, yes, but after the Supreme Court judgment in the Rivers State issue, February 18th or thereabout, the Supreme Court made it very, very clear, vividly so, that for you to have defected effectively, legally speaking, conspicuously, you must have your name on the register of that political party. 2, you must be a card-carrying member of that political party. As the register of ADC be opened and Peter Obi's name is seen there, from my own little knowledge and my own little corner, I don't think so his name is there. Is Peter Obi waving the ADC card, political party card, in my own little corner and my own little thoughts? I do not think so. Does Peter Obi has a Labour Party card? Yes, I know he does have, as a party member of Labour Party. He has not come out to tear that card, just like some elder statesmen did when they came out publicly to say they are no longer members of the political party and that their names have been struck out from the register of those members of those political parties. He has not done that. So in my own opinion, he's still a member of Labour Party.
All right. Barrister, I like the instances you cited. But mind you, for clarity, the video we played just happened over the weekend, not up to 1 week.
Yes.
So he said clearly, we in the opposition have adopted. Okay, you are not saying that doesn't automatically make him a member of the ADC.
Absolutely.
Now, which political party does Atiku Abubakar belong to? Because you see, Atiku has formally resigned from the PDP. But the other day, he delayed his acceptance of the membership card of the ADC. But we all know that he's been the person, he's been the rallying point. You know, he's been at the forefront of bringing people together in the ADC. So will it be inappropriate to say that Atiku is a member of the ADC? Since he's the arrowhead of the coalition that has adopted the ADC as a party for 2027. Where does it belong?
You see, that is, I just made some allusions to instances where we can say, legally speaking, these people are members of the ADC. I don't even know if the name of Atiku Abubakar is in the register of members of ADC. I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
I have not also seen Atiku Abubakar, even at Shola, where they have all the key members of the ESCO, where they have come out to peddle their membership card, or in their secretariat to say, oh, formally, I have registered with the ADC in my ward as a member of the ADC. I've not seen any of them done that. So I will look at it and look at the word of Seneca, you know, the Greek philosopher, who said, we often dwell too much on imagination than reality.
Okay.
So we are dwelling on imaginations as it is now, as a political animal. But the reality is that, are these people really members of the political party, ADC?
Okay.
I find it very difficult for me to say yes.
Okay. Now, Barrister,
but
legally,
I can vouch to say a Bola Tinubu is a member of the APC. I can also say that a Yeso Wike is a member of the PDP and other political people that
okay,
I know.
now, Barrister, legally speaking, because they are not card-carrying members of that political party, you cannot authoritatively say that they are members of that party.
Yes.
Based on the precedent set by the Supreme Court.
That's right.
Okay,
that is what I'm saying.
All right. Now, let's move away from membership of the political party. Do you see a Peter Obi formally declaring for the ADC in the coming days, coming weeks, and coming months? Given the fact that he has said, we, a few of us in the opposition, have adopted ADC as a party for 2027. Do you see that coming? You are an obedient member.
See, Seneca once said, man, serve no other purpose than himself. A P2B is a human being, is a political animal. He has the right to leave the Labour Party and be a member of ADC or any political party at all.
I'm sorry, Barrister, you are being very careful. I know you are a lawyer. You are being very careful. Advisedly, you are choosing your words. As an obedient movement member, within the political calculations, the political space now, do you anticipate that in the coming days or even months, that a Peter Obi, from what you understand now, do you think that he's likely to get into the ADC as a full-time member, as a full member of the party? Let's leave the legal gymnastics and all of that. Speak to me as a politician.
I think, you see, the politicians, especially Nigerian politicians, are unpredictable, just like the British weather.
Okay.
I cannot say, I can only make some conjectures.
Okay.
Whether P2B is going to leave PDP and declare for, a Labour Party, and now, pitch his tent with ADC.
Okay.
I can't, speak categorically for him. But if I look at his body language, there was a particular occasion, he once said that, you see, Labour Party has a lot of issues. That is the Labour Party he belongs, has a lot of issues. And I agree with him. The Labour Party is not the United Labour Party we had before the 2023 general elections. And with his body language, in the coming days or in the coming weeks, I will not be surprised or shocked if P2B denounces Labour Party and now accept, ADC as his political party. Okay. But the consequences is what I am concerned about.
Okay.
Because he has that freedom of association. He has the right to belong to any political party of his choice, insofar as it falls within the ambit or cubicle of his ideological build. You understand? Okay. So I believe in the weeks or maybe the days or weeks to come, I think that P2B may, in my own opinion, pitch his tent, okay, with the ADC.
Okay, now let's examine his chances in the ADC. And one of the things that people are looking at is the larger-than-life image or the construct of Atiku Abubakar in that party. Let's take Atiku Abubakar out. Is there any other barrier, is there any other impediment that Peter Obi might suffer in the ADC? Because everybody seems to be saying the only problem in the ADC is that Atiku Abubakar wants to be a presidential candidate. Yes. And we don't see Obi being able to clinch the ticket because of Atiku's deep pocket and the fact that Nigerians have alluded to the fact that he is a master at winning primary elections. So let's take out Atiku Abubakar from the equation. What other concerns do you have about probably the consequences you think that might be in the negative direction for Obi's membership of the ADC, as far as picking the presidential ticket is concerned?
We have characters like Atiku Abubakar, you have said. We also have characters like, Rotimi Amechi. These are front runners, okay, who are power hungry. They need power. They want to be where somebody is. And they believe they are the best candidate, but I don't know if they have the qualities, to, begin to ascribe to that particular office. So P2B is going to face oppositions, okay, from people like Rotimi Amechi, because I use Rotimi Amechi as a standard bearer because he's one of those who have said, I want to become president of Nigeria. Okay. And you add that to an Atiku Abubakar. So you have two of them who are already there. Now, we cannot rule out, the Behemotian, a negative, oozing of a man like Atiku Abubakar. Okay. Because of the fact that if Atiku Abubakar misses this chance of becoming Nigeria president, I'm very sure that he will be one of the oldest presidents if he now becomes president after 2027. Okay. Because of age is not on his side. I know that most of the ages this will declare our official age, because you see why I'm saying that is that in 1993, a lot of people don't know that Atiku Abubakar contested for the presidency of Nigeria under the political party known as the Social Democratic Party, SDP. Atiku Abubakar contested with people like MK Abiola in the primaries. He had people like Babagana Kingibe. So, and Atiku Abubakar at that time, 1993 to date is about 30-something years. You understand the point? So he's been there.
Okay, I'm sorry, Barrister, hold on to your line of thought. Right. We have a call. Let's take the call. Good evening and thanks for calling in. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Aina calling from Lagos.
Beautiful. Good evening, Aina. 1 minute, sir.
Okay, I want to really thank your analyst. He's being diplomatic in his words. But let us ask a certain question. Is P2B going to be the vice president? Has he agreed to be the vice president candidate or vice presidential candidate to Atiku? Because definitely Atiku will definitely grab the ticket of that party. That would be an insult to most of the obedience. I don't know what the game he's playing, but this is really, really a dicey game, because if I were to advise Obi, if I were his political advice, I would ask him, why not go to PDP, which have the spread and content power? Though, yes, there will be a problem because the power blocks in PDP will not agree. But I will advise Obi to be very careful with his decisions, because this will make or mar his political ambition. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer. Thanks for calling, and we appreciate you. Now, Barrister, you heard him. You
Yes.
heard what the engineer said.
Absolutely, yes.
I'd like for you to land on your thought and now do a short response to the question that.
So now, when you look at what I say, ADC is set up for Atiku Abubakar, whether I like it or not.
Okay, so it's difficult to isolate him.
It's difficult to isolate him.
Okay.
There is no way you can isolate an Atiku Abubakar. Even I believe Rotimi Chibike Amechi is working for Atiku Abubakar. In the last election, categorically I state it, Rotimi Amechi and his supporters, most of them voted for Atiku Abubakar in the presidential election.
Even while in the APC.
Even while in the APC, it is something that is well known. He voted and his supporters voted for Atiku Abubakar.
Okay, now.
So it's a mole, in my own opinion. Rotimi Amechi is a mole
In the ADC.
in the ADC
For Atiku Abubakar. Could he be
So we should
angling?
not hide that fact. So these are things that people should be careful about.
Could he
But
be-
we're not being with people like that.
Could he be angling for the vice presidential slot?
So a P2B,
Yes.
a P2B cannot.
No, I mean Rotimi Amechi.
That is the game he's playing.
Okay.
That is the game he is playing. You understand? Because when he lost the primaries to Tinubu, a Tinubu of that time, I'm from Rivers State. I know what I'm talking about. He lost the track and lost focus politically, and he now held a meeting closed door and asked his supporters to vote for an Atiku Abubakar in the presidential election. That he lost that particular slot to somebody that he is better than.
Okay, now if let's reverse roles. Assuming that Tinubu was a northerner, recall that Rotimi Amechi was first runner-up in the APC primary.
Absolutely.
Will he have been chosen as the vice presidential?
Yes, he would have. It depends on how they arrange their whatever
Arrange
the case may
okay.
be, or whether he will accept. For instance, Yeso Wike contested with Atiku Abubakar in the PDP. And when he lost, he thought maybe the vice presidential slot would be given to him, being that he was the second to Atiku Abubakar.
Okay.
But that was not done, as the case may be. Rather, the Atiku Abubakar to use his own whatever, to go and choose an Okowa,
Okay.
whom he felt he could work with.
Okay, so it's not automatic.
It's not automatic.
It's
So
not
in this
automatic.
instance,
Okay.
I want to say we have three titans who are fronting. The three of them are deceiving themselves one way or another. That they have cohesion in terms of unity to remove a sitting president who they feel they want to lash in on the opposition and the swell of the masses against the government. They want to use that as a soft, to get to where they want to be.
Okay.
But the three of them all have innate ambition to become president. Inside this triarchy or the triad, as the case may be right now, a P2B, for me, I know has a very clear intention and clear mind. He has clear policy and clear ideology. But people like Rotimi Amechi, people like Atiku Abubakar, these are Siamese twins politically right now and just now. There is no way anybody, even Nostradamus, cannot even come and tell me that they are not working towards the same direction.
Okay.
And I feel that what the permutations are is that once Atiku Abubakar gets the ticket, he will again, like he did in the last election, go for a South-South, a candidate, and who is the likely choice? The person will be a Rotimi Amechi
Okay.
that will not deputize or be his vice president.
Okay.
And in that way, they are going to scheme out a P2B. You understand? Because P2B cannot be a vice president candidate to Amechi or to even Atiku at this time. He tried it before. You saw what happened. If Nigerians had that confidence in that ticket in 20, whatever, the last election, 2019 or so, I think 2019, when
Yes,
when Atiku was presidential candidate of PDP, and a P2B was also the vice presidential candidate. People like Yeso were in the PDP at that time. PDP was a party that was, but they lost that particular election in 2019. You understand? So if it didn't work as at that time, what is the parameter? What has changed? What has changed between 2019 and 2025 that will now make a P2B become a vice president candidate to an Atiku Abubakar?
After running as a
presidential candidate
in 2023.
So that will be lowering his guard.
And you think he's not about to do
that? We cannot know. If he does do that, many of us will leave him. If P2B lowers that guard below where we know he has been, I didn't support P2B when he was vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar. Because I saw him, a man, working with somebody I felt brought Nigeria to ruination. They were diametrically opposed in terms of ideological, suasion, in terms of policy, in terms of courage, in terms of image. P2B became a dream to most of us when we saw him sever himself, from a particular character I liken to, this Greek, a god. They call him Autolycos. That is where the word artful dodger, comes from.
Okay.
A character in that nature of, Atiku Abubakar. So when I saw that P2B extricated himself from that mantra, and we now, gave all our support to a P2B as at that time. Okay. So if he goes back to eat or take his vomit and lower that guard, many of us will lower our masks.
Okay, now, Barrister,
and we might throw in an anchor and let all of
Barrister,
us
quickly, between the ADC and the PDP,
yes,
where would the obedient movement advise Peter Obi to go to?
In my own opinion,
if he's about to leave the Labour Party, where would you advise him to?
If Obi wants to leave the Labour Party,
okay.
Let me use this word. The first choice for me would have been that Obi should go back to Labour Party and re-galvanize Labour Party.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying is, if Obi goes back to Labour Party and with the swell of the obedient movement, seeing that P2B has gone back to Labour Party and he has pitched his tent day or night, come rain or shine, we are going to do what now? Go back to Labour Party and chase out the bald heads from Labour Party, legally speaking, and colonize and take over the political party and reconstruct it or restructure it for a P2B to emerge, and also forcefully fought the way he fought and got 6-point-something million votes that were allocated to him in that perfidy and shibboleth election that was conducted in 2023. So we will go back. That's my first whatever for him.
Okay.
But where it is in situation where it has now become cancerous and it has now become very obfuscating that the Labour Party has now become a gang of fraudsters and etc. that we may not associate with, I would ask people to choose between PDP and the ADC.
Okay.
In my own construction and take right now, with an Atiku Abubakar in ADC, P2B should better pitch his tent with a PDP.
With a PDP,
because in the PDP right now, if you can see what is going on,
okay,
that the hierarchical powerhouses of PDP have been saying they want to reach out to P2B to, you understand the point now?
To woo him back
to the party. It's between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Okay.
Which one do you choose? For me, the chances of P2B getting the ticket of ADC is very slim. It's just like the head of the camel passing through the eye of the needle. You understand? Because an Atiku Abubakar being there, Atiku is like a floodlight. It covers everywhere. To the extent, if you're not very careful, you think there's no darkness there. So it's like he has that kind of image, larger than life image, politically speaking.
Okay.
He has the political machinations. He has the financial breadth and efficacy and strength to displace. Atiku Abubakar is just like a salamander, political salamander. You understand? Atiku Abubakar is just like that biggest, vessel they call backhoe liner in the oceans of the world. Once it enters, it displaces a lot of water. Covertly or overtly, as the case may be. And if you're not very careful, there may be tsunami.
Now,
cataclysmic results.
Okay, now, Atiku Abubakar has left the PDP.
Yes.
Yes, Omwike is still there.
You don't see.
The Omwike factor that pushed P2B out of the PDP in 2023 is still there. Mind you, the same PDP, while they are talking to P2B, at the same time, they are winning former President Goodluck Jonathan to come back and take their presidential ticket.
That is what I'm saying. I said it's between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Okay.
Now, in the PDP right now, if P2B is able to go to PDP, as the case may be, I'm just trying to look at his political,
yes,
analysis, analysis or whatever the case may be.
Yes.
He will be better off in the PDP than in the ADC. Because let me tell you something, Nigerians are not even very, very certain whether the political party called ADC will survive to 2027. I say this with due respect because there's a political party they call ADA at that. Okay. What happened to it? They are in the formative stage, waiting, the assent of INEC. Is it not so?
Okay.
They have not withdrawn the registration formalities and tools. You understand the point? I still believe that the ADC is a political party like that of, is it Aaron also that, Moses didn't take Israel to wherever to, okay. The man that took over that took Israel there. So they are now using ADC to just wait and hold themselves so that they will not lose focus and sight of the political intensity in Nigeria. The moment that is registered, many of these people in ADC today will move to that political party.
Okay.
And you see another issue why I said P2B should better, for me, in my own opinion, should stick to PDP, for instance, being the devil and the deep blue sea, is that the ADC right now has a litany convoy of suits in court. It's a party that is not stable. It's just like Reuben in the Bible, that the father said is unstable, just like the waters. The ADC is not stable. You can see that what they have been turning out are memos. They have been dwelling on imaginations, not reality. Just like Seneca said, we more often dwell on imaginations than reality. So the ADC, many of those ADC people, members who are in ADC, are camouflaging. They are hibernating.
Okay, now,
so the moment they get their reposition, they leave that place and that place becomes vacant.
Okay, right, Barrister, talking about ADC, we see a groundswell of the campaign from the APC, this PDP and the Labour Party to the ADC, especially in the north.
Yes.
Does this signify a boost for the opposition ahead of 2027 general election? The other day, Rivers State, the ADC person in Rivers State said that they received over 800 members, to the ADC. And in the north, I think somewhere in Kebbi State, thousands left in Adamawa State.
Yes.
We saw people leaving the APC to the ADC instead of going to the PDP, where their son, Atiku Abubakar, is. So, this movement to the ADC, does it speak to some kind of boost for the ADC, especially in the north?
There are people who do what I call social media engineering.
Okay.
They will tell you who counted the 800 members that went to that political party. They will tell you 1,000 defected from one party. Who counted them? You just look at a crowd in the stadium and say there are 50,000 people. Do you have any statistics to prove that these people, 800 of them, genuinely, in a country where people buy crowd, I was in Enugu some time ago last year. I got to a place, I found out that I could influence some young men around there. So if I become a political leader, as the case may be, and I give them 5,000 naira, they will go there and carry brooms and begin to say they have defected from APC to PDP. Then I count them as my followers. Then on election day, then you don't have those people behind you. So you might have the tumultuous crowd on social media. You might have the tumultuous crowd on this real media TV as you see them. Rented crowd. I've participated in campaigns for politicians. I've seen where you see a stadium is filled up with 100,000 people. The 100,000 people in that stadium, about 80,000 or even not 99,000.9 are not your supporters. Okay. They are just there because you want to do what I call fakar.
Okay, so Barry said, you think that ADC is not doing that very fantastic?
They are just doing that to say we have a 800. Is that what we are looking at? What are your structures?
Okay.
What are the political ideology you have?
And for now, they don't have a governor.
Look at what is happening. The moment El-Rufai keeps his mouth quiet, ADC will not make any statement again. The moment El-Rufai begin to talk, you see Atiku Abubakar to come out and begin to talk again. Dele Momodu begin to talk and echo El-Rufai. Is that what we are talking about? We are not talking about sanctimonious platitudes and pangerisms. We're talking about reality. So until and unless the ADC, remove or purge themselves of the Seneca syndrome, that says that we more often dwell on imaginations than reality, it's going to be a party that I cannot really trust. The party is a party on the face value. A football club that has a galactic course. We think that when they come into the field, they will defeat the other team 6-0.
Okay.
But when they get there, things change because they were playing to the gallery. But the real footballers who were ready to get the trophy are those who come in there to break leg, injure people, score goals using their hand to score.
Okay, so what do you think that the AD should be doing now in terms of trying to win the 2027 election?
AD,
is it to move away from social media hype?
I live in a very big conurbation in Lagos here, for instance. Politically sophisticated people. I have never seen a world leader of ADC. I'm telling you because you have world, local government, state, and whatever level. I have never seen a world leader.
Sir, you are an obedient.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, ADC and MAS supported Peter Obi in 2023.
But obedient movement is not a political party. It's a movement.
No, okay. But what I'm trying to say is that the whole of ADC as a political party moved their structure to Labour Party for Peter Obi in 2020.
In the ADC, which ADC?
The African Democratic.
Okay, the old one, the one of
Dumebi
Kachuku.
Yes.
That's right. If you talk about the old ADC, I will understand. But ADC having been hijacked by political, game masters and bulldogs.
Okay.
You still think it's the same ADC of Kachuku?
Okay.
If it's the same ADC of Kachuku will not be complaining because they don't have similar ideology.
Okay.
The ideology of these buccaneers and plunderers and those people who form a major bulwark of the political party called ADC, does not even rhyme. It's diametrically opposed to most of us. Because you find that you'll be working with people who you have not thought you'll be working with. Just because you want to wrestle power? Is that what we're looking at? No. Have they, brought in any ideology? What is the mantra of the ADC, for instance? Is it by saying want to overthrow? We know that Tinubu government is not doing well. You don't need to tell us that, but go beyond it.
Okay.
Tell us what you are going to do. Can you imagine one of those eggheads, or the pallbearers of ADC, one of them from my former state, they asked him, it was this man from your sister television station, I think Okinbalo or whatever they call the young man there, asked him a question on podcast. He said, yes, economy is in shambles. The people, whatever is not working. When you come in there as president, what will you do? He said, I have a lot of, I'm going to employ eggheads who will be my special advisors on economy. When he gets to economy issue, I don't tamper because I'm not an economist. Can you imagine a candidate, a presidential candidate, saying that kind of a thing? And he says he wants to be president under ADC.
You
understand?
It's not fair because we saw a President Tinubu do that in Chatham House.
That is what I'm saying. That is why we're having a problem today.
Okay, that's why we're having
a problem. But P2B will tell you, if that question were to be thrown to P2B will straighten out and tell you what exactly he has to do to bring that economy back to shape. He will not tell you I didn't read economics, that I'm going to employ special advisors on economy that will begin to advise me. Is that the kind of a person that I'll go and vote for? I am not politically illiterate. You understand? I'm sophisticated. I look at this thing because it's supporting a chance that most of them are there.
Okay.
If some of them were to come and we sit down and discuss and dissect issues politically, economically, they can't even defeat most of us.
Okay, now Barrister, let's move on now because we are running out of time. Before we talk about the alleged intimidation and harassment by Efcc, which the ADC has said, look, they are harassing our people. Peter Obi has advocated for a single 5-year term as practiced in South Korea. Is there any merit in that?
See, my brother, in South Korea and those Korea, Japan, if you steal money, they behead you. The word harakiri is from that particular Southeast Asia, over they call it.
Suicide.
It's suicide.
Yeah.
So when the man says he wants to run 5 years, you cannot go there and steal for the 5 years. And you do what you are meant to do there, otherwise you go out. But in the Nigeria economic lithosphere, it is difficult to have a man. Look at, for instance, a man did 8 years. And when the power was so sweet, like the honey, you know what he did? He said he needed a third term to make it 12 years instead of 8 years as given by the Constitution. which means he wanted to even amend the constitution, that provision that says you do 2 terms. So that tells you how it is. So he will tell you that 8 years is not enough. Let me tell you something, honestly speaking. When Peter Obi made that statement, I just look and say, my leader, I disagree with you here. You understand?
Okay, so
the 5 term, whatever, is not, don't make promises that you will not go there, and when you do the 5-year term, you find that you cannot, do 1 or 2 things to change the ecosystem. Then you begin to, when you begin to say, oh, you need another term, people that voted for you begin to hate you. So the best is allow the 8th year, the 2 term of 4 years operate. See, tenure does not make you make a system proper or right. You can be in a system. Gaddafi did it for a very long time before he was murdered. You understand the point? He was there for a long period of time. It was almost a life, whatever, in Libya. But when you went to Libya at that time, you see the development that was there. So people had confidence in him. So 5-year term, 2 years or 10 years does not make the politician. Okay. You understand? Mandela came in. The reason why Mandela even did this, if people mistake that, Mandela came out and said he's doing this not because of the fact that he wanted to, but I want to stabilize, the nation. If Mandela had not taken that step to come out and say, let me run for presidency, it is having fought for apartheid. If another person had taken over, there would have been mayhem in South Africa. Okay. The whites and the ballheads would have been fighting today. South Africa would have been in shambles by now. You can see what is even happening. But Mandela came to stabilize, to say, I'm a father figure to all of us. He was the one that brought the idea of rainbow coalition. So because of that, let me just be there and stabilize, and age is no longer on my side. You understand the point now? But Mandela did that because age was no longer on his side. Having spent so many years in prison, almost going blind, and intellectually was, being eroded, as case may be. He didn't have that, strength, physical strength again.
Okay, so on that point, you disagree with Peter?
I disagree with him.
Okay, now, Barrister, let's move on. The opposition ADC has cried out that the ruling party is using APC to intimidate its members. They mentioned Emeka Ihedioha, they mentioned Aminu Tambuwa, they mentioned David Mark. Barrister, is it some form of coincidence that these investigations are going on just a few weeks after these people said, look, we have formed a coalition party? What do you smell? What do you see?
Why have they not accused P2B of corruption? Why has Efcc? Because P2B should be the arrowhead.
Okay.
If P2B were to be corrupt, by now the Efcc would have started inviting him to distract him. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I do.
Where I'm driving to is this. He who comes to equity must come with clean hands.
Okay.
If you want equity, do equity. That is what he said. Politically speaking, for those who are above board or maybe a little above board, the FCC will not go and do contrive situations and bring and say it's corrupt. The question I've asked these people, I know, yes, many presidents have used that to, intimidate opposition. Okay. But because you brought, maggot-infested firewood to your house, that is why you see lizards coming in there.
Now, Barrister,
that is why you found out that the question I've asked these people that they've been invited, is there any petition against them? Were you above board when you were governor of your state? These are the questions that should be asked. Don't hide under whatever. Because even Femi Falana said this, quite recently, that say, why is it that when they invite big men, they begin to talk about they are being intimidated? You have not answered the question. Are you aware that a man, the former governor of Kogi State, if he were to be from ADC, would say they are trying to intimidate him? But there are allegations of corruption against you. No. Does that mean that you cannot answer to those things under Section 15 of 5 of the 1999 Constitution?
Now, Barrister, the question Nigerians are asking.
Yes.
Why now? They are not exempting these people. They are not saying, don't investigate, don't try these people.
Yes.
But the question they're asking, why suddenly? And they are asking, why is it that a Ganduje, and Abdullahi Ganduje, former governor of Kano State, is not being tried again? Why is it that Godswill Akpabio, Senate President, is not being tried? Why is it that Anifa Yokowa in the APC is not being tried?
Because
that is the question
Nigerians see corruption by tribe and politics.
So they are right when
they say, let me say, when we see, for those of us who look at corrupt whatever as case may be, it's like that. Because I have not been able to shoot down an Anini disturbing the it does not mean you have the premature right to terrorize my state as an armed robber. You understand the point now? So don't think that because an Anini has been moving up and down, you now say, well, I don't know arrested, I need to come and do whatever. Then I begin to sit down and say, if he comes to my turn, as the case may be. So what I'm trying to say is that I am not supporting government. It might be or may not be. Okay. Obasanjo was accused of doing this. Let me tell you for a good example. A James Ibori that Obasanjo, you know what Obasanjo did to James Ibori and how he was trying to, bring him to whatever, sent Efcc to him, sent Efcc to Alamiye Sega. All of us at that time termed it as political intimidation. But when these people left and went to UK, one of them was jailed.
But there was
for the same corruption.
That same coincidence, because as at that time, Nigerians knew that the James Ibori had objected against the second term of
that does not cleanse him of corruption.
No, but why did Obasanjo have to wait until that time?
That is how it operates here in Nigeria. It's a political system. Even those complaining today, the moment they get into power, they are going to do same.
Okay.
OBJ did it. Buhari did it, as the case may be. I'm not saying that the whatever is. I'm not even saying that what the insinuations are making, they are right. All these are just situations or permutations.
Okay.
But the question I'm asking as an observer and a very objective analyst in this whole thing is this: government has the right to fight corruption, but you also have the right to say whether the government is fighting corruption the right way or not the right way. Okay. But that does not exonerate anybody that is perceived to have been corrupt, as the case may be, from being tried and prosecuted. Even when you want to contest election. You understand? Even when you want to contest, that is, in fact, a man contesting an election should have something near clean sheet.
Okay.
P2B is the only politician that has the clean sheet.
Okay, talking about P2B
yes.
again.
Why are they not going after him?
I wanted, do you think that they will do that in the near future? That they will dig up something against
him? Even if they do that, P2B will be the first to run to the Efcc place that invited him and drop his books and say, these are my books. These are my books. I didn't do anything, so prove me wrong. You understand the point now? But if they invite P2B, I dare say, I vouch for him. He will say it's intimidation, but I am going there today. These are my books. I have reports. I have what to counter them, to rebut whatever the Efcc is saying. Is it not so? So these are the things we have to put into perspective. So don't because of corruption, begin to whip up sentiment because you were corrupt. Petitions have been written. When the time of Gandhi comes, they'll still do him, as the case may be. But for now...
Okay, so basically you think that the EFCC is doing its job?
For me...
And that they should be allowed to do their job?
For me, the EFCC should be allowed to do their job.
Okay.
If what's his name, Tambuwa goes to that place and say, I did not commit any of these things you are saying. The evidences you have brought before me are not true. If these things, I cannot take them because I never did this. And now, because no man is above the law.
He's been released on bail, by the way.
He's been released. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. So if he goes there to purge himself of these things and they begin to go after him again, then I begin to understand.
Does it look like corruption is fighting back? And what is the role of the courts in all of this?
The
AFCC got court order, for asset forfeiture.
Yeah.
Design Alison Madeke, Yahaya Bello.
Absolutely.
Who again? I think another person. And all of a sudden, other courts said, no, EFCC, you don't do that. You don't have the right to do that. So what does that mean?
See, the thing is, we were talking about institutions. I think, was it Barack Obama that said the Africa needs strong institutions? Now, we do not have strong institutions in Nigeria. That is number one. Number two is this. If you look at what happens, as the case may be, in the cases we have mentioned, Nigeria is not turning to the era of Ferdinand Marcos of Philippines. Okay. You understand? Where the executive, and the other arms of government people who were there or populated were corrupt. You understand the point? To the extent that the wife, you saw what happened to Imelda Marcos, as the case may be, as at that time. So these are the things. You cannot rule out a corrupt system aiding corruption, as the case may be. Okay. But we are not saying that is what is happening. But you cannot rule it out. It's unfortunate. As the case may be. That is number two. Number three is that what are the procedures that the EFCC used or adopted to now forfeit the property of somebody? So did they go on the right track? Because people blame the courts. Okay. But it is only when the matter gets to the court and you see the facts that you now know that the court acted very correctly. Okay. Now, forfeiture of property has a procedure.
All right.
And many of the security agencies have evaded that. They work arbitrarily. Okay. Once they nail somebody and publish it. Let me give for example.
Barrister,
Once the
Barrister,
EFCC comes
we are-
and say you are corrupt, you hold that placard.
All right.
You now become a criminal. They now nail you.
Okay.
They don't want to follow the due process, as the case may be.
All right then.
That's
Barrister,
right.
unfortunately, we are out of time and we
Absolutely.
have to end this conversation.
So sorry.
A big thanks to you, Barrister Asim Adams.
Thank you so much.
Spokesperson, Beatrice Itubo / Peter Obi in the 2023 general election. We appreciate your presence in politics.
Absolutely. Thank
and
you.
like I say, I hope we can do this some other time.
Of course, I am always there. Once I have the opportunity at this time of the day, I always
All right,
oblige.
thank you very much.
Yes.
I appreciate your presence.
Thank you so
Now,
much.
on behalf of the backroom staff, talking about technical director, bus manager, sound engineer, and the ingest manager, I am Chukwuma Okoro. Up next is Issues to Jerry Apello High. Stay with us and don't go away.